Fuck it, I entertain and play along. They claim they the best in the game when I'm the system that they play it on. They copy me, but my pattern is far beyond strange. I sit back and watch my clones play like LeBron James. See, I'm the illest that's walking under the firmament. A pat on the back from me will leave a pumper that's permanent. They pointed and laughed when cautious wasn't doing well. I needed that. First you learn, then you remove the L. Soon after that, you can't be stopped, get up and go and get it. You gotta activate your hustle if you want specifics. It's no denying me, my flow's terrific. All these candy bars being produced, I guess that may be the golden ticket. My whole life, good and evil, been playing tug of war, but still I remain flyer than Marty McFly's hoverboard. Don't trust the soul, too many stabs in the back. They sleeping on me, now it's time to wake them up from their nap. It's a difference between confusion and undeniable rap. That's why fake they listen and don't know.
Yo. I don't know what happened, man, but hey, I'm here, man. Salute. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, it's your boy Big Mike right here. We got a lot to talk about, man. I'm gonna wait for some people to pull in. Jimmy G. Not Aaron Rodgers, not Tom Brady. Who else was on the list? There was Lamar Jackson for a little bit. We had a whole list of guys that we thought we were gonna get. Here we are. We got Jimmy G. Jimmy G is gonna be the quarterback for at least the near future, right? I mean, we signed him for a 3-year deal. The first year is pretty much, he's going to be here for at least that year, but it gives us a kind of a trap door to kind of get out of that contract after the 2023 season. So, let's see who's here. Hey, Raider Jim, thanks for popping in, man. You know what? Hey, I figured we were going to be talking about, what was going on with the Raiders. We got kind of get some stuff off my chest. Jimmy G's a Raider. Very underwhelming. Not going to lie to you. It was one of those things where I was like, oh, man, I kind of had one of those meltdowns today. Very disappointing news, right? But I cooled off a little bit. And I want to talk to you guys about it. I want to hear what you guys' opinion is on what's going on. Jimmy G, a Raider, our quarterback of the future. Not Aaron Rodgers, not Tom Brady. Those guys didn't want to come over here. No Lamar Jackson. That would have been too expensive anyway. CJ Stroud's probably going to get pick number 1. Hey, what do you guys think? This is my take on it, man. I'm thinking that the Raiders had plan A, which was Tom Brady. I think at the beginning of this, the offseason, it didn't fall through. Aaron Rodgers, I think he was asking for a little bit too much. We didn't want to kind of mortgage our future for that. So I think that's kind of where we're at. We did our due diligence to try to move up to that number 1 pick. But the Panthers just gave up way too much. They gave up pretty much the first and second round for this year and next year, and they gave up their number 1 receiver. So they're in a complete rebuild mode. So that's what it would have taken for us to get to that point. So it is a little bit disappointing that we didn't get our guy, but Jimmy G is here, and I do believe that he can be a serviceable quarterback for us if he can stay upright and we can keep him from making mistakes. So let's jump into the comments. Shout out to AP_12X. What's good, Big Mike? Hey, I'm doing good, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got free agency period kind of took off today, the tampering period. So it's a lot of stuff that's in the air right now. And, tampering period doesn't make it official. It's pretty much official, but until, we get that press conference and he's holding up the number 10 jersey or whatever number he's going to wear, it's not a lock yet, but it is basically a lock. So, but we've seen crazier things, right? We've seen things where, we had like a swerve. We saw the same thing with one thing that pops in my head was Antonio Brown in 2019, where he signs with the Bills, right? The news was coming out, hey, he's going to the Bills, right? AB's going to the Bills, all right, whatever. And then days later, he decides he's going to go to the Raiders. Didn't turn out to work out for us very well, but I'm just trying to throw in a scenario where these things happen in tampering period, and then it, we think it's going to happen, and then things kind of change, news kind of changes, or whatever happens. So let's jump into more comments. Let's see. What do you guys think, man? Let's see. Raider Jim, he says, with the report coming that we tried to trade up to number one. I think they know what rookie they want to groom. Yeah. You know what? I'm thinking that, and that's the question. Like, if we do stay at the number 7, where do you guys think we're gonna land? I'm hoping that we do get now that we have Jimmy G. I'm hoping that we do get an Anthony Richardson. He kind of lands in our lap and let him sit for a year and kind of learn what was going on. And then in that situation, I'm okay with Jimmy G. I was always okay with a bridge gap quarterback, if we drafted a quarterback. And if we can bring in a guy who has freakish, like elite, like athleticism, like Anthony Richardson, and can also kind of polish his skills because he is green, he is very raw. So, if we can sharpen those tools, then I'm okay with it. And that's kind of what I'm hoping the Raiders, their vision is for this season and the future going forward. And Orlando Padilla, he said it straight up. He said, we're going to suck again next year. You know what? I had a meltdown on Twitter today. So I can't be too upset with how you feel about that. I'm hoping that that's not the case, man. I'm a Raider for life, man. And I'm gonna definitely support the man. I'm gonna give him a chance to make this work. That's all I got to say about that. Let's scroll back up, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm so behind with the comments. I run my mouth, and then you know how that goes. We need to still draft a quarterback. Exactly, Leo. I agree with you, and that is priority number one. I hope that we still try to grab one of these guys in the first round. Anthony Richardson. I'm even okay with a Will Levis at this point, to kind of sit behind Jimmy G. I'm okay with it at this point. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. That is a priority. Sean Johnson, my guy, lots going on. There is a lot going on. I'm going to break down kind of how the Jimmy G contract is going to look. And we got some news from about like 30 minutes ago that one of our guys that we were hoping to land in free agency, Dalvin Tomlinson, one of the top defensive tackles in the market right now, just signed with the Browns. 4-year deal, $57 million with $27.5 million guaranteed. That is a steep contract, and Graphk was right. He said it a couple of weeks ago that Dalvin Tomlinson is not going to get paid what his market value is. It's going to be way more than what it is, and he was absolutely right. Shout out to Graphk. And man, because I believe his market value was somewhere a little over 8.5 million or something like that, and he's looking at that's a fat contract. He's in double digits million a year. So yeah, he got paid well over his market value, and the Browns they broke the bank on that one. So maybe we dodged a bullet on that one, but you know what? It's starting to get a little spooky, the fact that we're not making any moves on defense. So hey, we got to do something, right? We got to do something. All right. We had the board. Guys we had on the board are taken. Yeah, I know. It's rough, man. And I did an article on Planet Raiders. If you guys want to check it out, it's almost like a cold takes article now at this point, because, I did a Dreamers scenario for the offseason for us and what it would look like for us in the offseason and what we'd have to do to kind of build a championship level team. And a lot of those moves isn't going to happen. So go ahead and check it out on Planet Raiders. Also, Wasted Talent is man, he's killing it at Planet Raiders. He's dropping articles left and right, man. He's killing the game right now. Go ahead and check out Planet Raiders, man. I'm telling you, it's going to change the game. Go check out some written articles, written content from your favorite content creators. Go ahead and check it out, man. Go ahead and check it out. In my opinion, every franchise has to find their guy in the draft. We're on deck. Yeah, I'm hoping so, man. I'm hoping so. We Raider Nation at this point needs something to be happy about. The Jimmy G news was very underwhelming. And all the buzz that was going on before all this was, it was real high, and they took us really low. So that's the problem with this situation, is that we are taking on this roller coaster ride, and here we are now. We're kind of left with the guy that's is very underwhelming. He was injured last year, but if you really look at his numbers, they're not terrible. They're very Carr-esque, but the difference is that his contract is very friendly, it's very team friendly and market friendly. So that's the upside to having a Jimmy G. We can get out of this situation, and we can save a lot of money and sign guys that we need through free agency. Even though these guys are jumping off the board, so I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna keep my cool. I'm gonna keep my cool this time, man. I promise that. AP12X. I'm really hoping we can grab Poyer. Yeah, that's the move that needs to happen, man. That really needs to happen. So let's see. Top Beats, salute to you, bro. Good to see you pulling in, man. Is my biggest disappointment is that we didn't retain Stidham, especially since Jimmy is injury prone. Not to mention we lost Illuminor. So, guys, I want to throw this past you guys, and this is a thought that I've had all day, and I don't know if I'm off the mark with this. You guys let me know if I'm off the mark, man. I thought that the Raiders can, instead of bringing Jimmy G and signing him for about $22 million, we sign Stidham for the starter and save a little bit more. Now, I get it. You're going to have to give Stidham a little bit more money because he would be labeled a starter. But I don't think that he would be worth $22 million. I think that we could have got him in the $15 million range to keep him around. I don't know. But I think that Jimmy G and Jarrett Stidham does the same thing. Am I off the mark, guys? Please let me know if I'm off the mark. I'm juggling with this idea like, hey, was the better move just keep Stidham, pay him for the cheap, then build the defense? Well, I don't know. If that whole idea was to bring a stopgap quarterback, why didn't we put our due diligence and stick with trying to bring in Jarrett Stidham and keep him around instead of him going to the damn Donkeys? So you guys let me know. Am I off the mark with that? Am I off with that? You guys let me know, man, because I'm conflicted with this whole idea with the thing, man. I'm kind of conflicted. Dalvin Tomlinson with Cleveland. Yeah, I know, man. It's rough out here, man. We're getting nobody right now. It's crazy. These guys are getting off the board super quick. And I love bringing back Facing and signing Epps sneaky moves. Yeah, I like it too. Epps from Philly. I saw, if you guys haven't checked out some of the film study that Andy was doing on his channel, man, it was superb. He always puts on a good show. He was kind of breaking down some of the stuff. He did get burnt by Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl. However, everybody gets burnt by Travis Kelce today, so I'm not really holding that against him. I like the move. It's a cheap move. And then bringing Brandon Facing. I think that he likes to be a Raider. I think he shows that pride in being a Raider, so I'm okay with it. And it's a depth piece. I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not expecting him to start. I don't know about you guys, but I like the sneaky picks. But we need to make more splash. We need to make a bigger splash than that, man. I don't know about you guys. Sean Johnson might have to trade with the Giants for D-tackle Leonard Williams. Sean Johnson, assignment to you, man. I'm assigning you some homework, man. What do you think a trade for Leonard Williams would look like? You tell me. I'm hoping that we can get him, throw maybe a third or fourth to him. I don't know what it would look like. Sean Johnson, you let me know what a trade to Leonard Williams would look like. You guys let me know. 80s baby, shout out to you. I'm okay with Jimmy signing, but seeing all these guys we need to sign going elsewhere, it's like, what are we doing? Epps, Facing, come on, these guys are basement level players. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Even though I do like these pickups, this is not wowing. This isn't anything. And I kind of go off the same idea that Mark Davis is in a situation more unique than any other situation in the NFL. He needs to build a fan base. He needs to build a winning culture in Las Vegas, or he's going to lose his fan base. It is already bad enough that he's charging an arm and a leg for these tickets, and he's pushing away blue-collar, hard-working Raider fans such as me and you. We cannot get into the stadium because these tickets are too high. So what kind of incentive would it be for us to break the bank and go to a Raider game if they're carting out Jimmy G as the headline? Am I wrong about this? Like, and that's what's really like baffling to me is the fact that, you hear all this stuff, you hear all this talk that Mark Davis wants a rock star quarterback. He wants to build a winning culture, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like I'm leaning towards the idea that he is just there for the payday, for the, for the Raiders, for Allegiant Stadium to be the cash register. They got the Super Bowl, they got the Pro Bowl, they had the NFL draft there. The draft will probably be back because it was very successful. It's kind of scary to me that this might be a situation, a Cowboys situation, where you have an owner like Jerry Jones. He really does like emphasize that he wants to win, but it never seems to happen. Are we going to be in that kind of situation for these? Are we going to be like one of the top revenue teams in the NFL, making the most money, and then we're not building a winning culture. We're not winning games in the playoffs. We're not even going to the playoffs. Like, here's the thing. The Washington Commanders are one of the most top, like the top revenue teams in the NFL, but they have a losing culture. They have a bad front office. So what does it really mean? So that's my concern with it. And I'm really hoping that that's not the case, because Raider fans are so passionate. As we live and die, we bleed for this. We want to win. We want to win now. And I don't feel that the front office, and I don't feel that they're making their due diligence. I don't know. I could be wrong, man. I'm conflicted, man. I'm trying to get on board with the thing. I'm trying to fight with it, but that's kind of how I'm feeling about it, man. You guys let me know if I'm off the mark, man. I didn't have a plan coming in here. I had to, try to kind of get my rocks off on this one, man. I'm glad you guys are here. We got 11 in the chat. Go ahead and hit them thumbs up, hit the sub, share with your folks. Big Mike Raider. We're here to stay. I just came over here. I didn't have a plan. I just wanted to, kind of talk football with you guys, talk this whole Jimmy G situation, how you guys feel about free agency. We see another one of our pieces getting off the board, as in Dalvin Tomlinson. Man, but what are we going to do? What's next? What's happening? Shout out to Mr. H. Have you talked about a trade back and getting a first for trading up next year? Have you talked about a trade back and getting a first for trading up next year? I mean, I have not. So yesterday what we did do was we did a mock draft and we traded back from the number 7 pick. We ended up getting a number 18, another second round pick from the Detroit Lions. And in that we got Kalijah Kancey. We ended up getting Drew Sanders in that. And we also got Tuli Pelotu. If that can happen, I'm okay with pushing back. If we can kind of build that defense with youngsters, I'm okay with that kind of move. You guys let me know. You can go ahead and check it out on Planet Raiders. I have it listed out how I kind of mapped out the draft and what we did. Go ahead and check it out on Planet Raiders. It's a pretty good article. Maybe not the free agency part, but get to the draft part. We really killed it in the draft. Me and Kane Town, we did that last night in the Swagger and Boisterously podcast. We're going to be doing that weekly. Go ahead and check it out, guys. Go ahead and check it out. What you guys think? Let's see. Orlando Padilla. He's after his neck, man. Here we go. I hope McMuffin does a better job. Yeah, me too, man. It's rough, man. It's rough. It's really tough it's tough. It's tough, man. I'm trying to support the man, but these kind of moves, even Ziegler, man, I'm like, what are you guys doing? You guys aren't even making moves. Like, it's the tampering period, but guys are signing elsewhere. How are we supposed to build this team? If guys are already off the board. Raider Jim, he says, you couldn't keep Stidham because you need to draft a guy. Can't start a guy that's only started 2 games that he lost. We had to go get a proven starter. That's fair. And I'm okay with that. And that's exactly why I'm here. I want you guys to let me know, what is it? Was I off the mark with that? And I can accept that. And I'm glad the one thing that's my saving grace in this whole situation is that this deal is very team friendly, and we can get out of it. Next year. So, and I'm gonna get to the details. I kind of want to acknowledge everybody in the chat first before we kind of jump into it. Stiddy would have been less injury prone, but that is spot on. Hey, everybody, it seems like we're in another divide, man. Like, everybody has their own kind of idea of what, how they want to mold this team and how they want that to happen. So, yeah, man, it's tough, man. It's tough. And you know what? I was talking to Waste of Talent today. I think we both agree. I had to agree with him that I think I've had enough with playing armchair GM at this point. because we have this idea of what we would like to see, and it doesn't come out. And I don't know the intricacies of being a GM, so it's hard for me to kind of be like, kind of having an opinion without being a homer and without being a diehard Raider fan. It's hard for me to think. I mean, there's a business aspect to it that I don't understand, and a lot of us don't understand as well. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, man. Sean Johnson, I think at least last minute he wanted to play with David Webb in Denver. Yeah. He wanted to get with Sean Payton as well. Sean Payton is an attraction. That's a factor for a lot of these free agents. They see like a legendary coach and they want to play with him. So I can understand that. I can understand it. I hope that we will roll with Stidham as well. We could have had Stidham at 8, but we blew it, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. AR Afakasi Raider, what's up, bro? Hey, make sure you guys check out his page. Make sure you check out his clothing line, Raider World Order. He has some dope stuff, man. Like I told you guys yesterday, he has t-shirts, he has tank tops, sweaters, you name it, man. He's got some good stuff over there. Go ahead and check him out, man. Check him out. Hey, AR, man, if you can, go ahead and drop a link so everybody can pick up the stuff, man. It's good stuff, man. Let's let this guy shine. Let's make sure that we're supporting our Raider family and buying Raiders, not necessarily the shield, but the people that are putting on for the Raiders and making clothing brands like Raid the Tapes joint with Redemption brand and OakLosVegas, like all that stuff, man. We got to support our guys. AR is another one. Same thing with Hammer. He has some good stuff too. So let's support our guys. You guys support our guys. Let's make this happen, guys. Let's make it happen. We most definitely need a guy in a draft. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely the move. Facing sucks, especially since the draft is deep with corners. I mean, bringing Facing doesn't necessarily mean that we're not getting a corner. You know what I mean? Like that, we're definitely a corner is happening now. Is it going to happen in the second? Is it going to happen in the third? I'm hoping it happens in those early rounds. Like I cannot take. I know that possibly Rocky Ya-Sin will be coming back, but it wouldn't surprise me if something happens otherwise. I mean, the way things have been happening this entire free agency period so far, I'm hoping that we do bring it back at least at Rocky Ya-Sin and maybe another piece. Hopefully a splash move at the defensive position because we need it. We absolutely need it. Brandon Faison did okay, I thought, back in 2021, considering we signed him mid-year and he wasn't in camp. Yeah, I thought he played well, man. I didn't think he was terrible. He got cooked a couple times, but who doesn't in this league, man? Do you think these players just don't like our front office, particularly Josh McDaniels? Why they don't want to sign? That's something to consider as well. I mean, they had that what was it? The questionnaire or the survey of these coaches, and then like Josh McDaniels, he kind of had like bad marks and stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me that league wide he has like a bad reputation, and then that might scare away people. Now, we talked about for years like this is now an attraction to go play in Las Vegas, right? But is it really attraction if you have a coach that doesn't listen to their players? Is it really an attraction if he's one of those guys that's just like, hey, I'm gonna do what I want, and he's trying to be Bill Belichick Jr.? Is it really? Like, it's almost as bad as the Oakland situation where we can't bring in free agents because these guys are like, nah, I'm cool. I don't want to deal with this dude. That's a possibility, man. That's something to think about as well, man. I mean, and I hope that Mark Davis does see this and he's gonna, I don't know, man. I'm gonna support the dude. I'm gonna support him. I'm gonna support him, man. That's all I'm gonna say until proven otherwise. We got a whole season to come up, but right now we are losing. AP_12X. With the pickup of Jimmy, I am much more comfortable with picking up Richardson or Hendon Hooker, knowing they got a good veteran leader to sit behind and develop. Yeah. Like I said, man, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it now. If we were talking about bringing in like an Aaron Rodgers or something like that, it would have been hard to get a quarterback to sit behind him because at that point you're in a win now window. And then you would have to bring in another piece to maybe bolster the defense in the first round and things like that. So, and especially you'd have to hit home runs in the draft because you spend a lot of money trying to bring in the dude. So that, it changes the game when you do bring in Jimmy G. You definitely are building for the future in that situation. And we got to be patient. I guess that's what it really comes down to. It's about being patient and letting this, trusting the process. I know I hate that. I hate that phrase, man. I really do. But in this situation, that's what it is. We got to trust the process. We got to trust it because this is a move that is going to build our future. This is something that will help us future-wise. And if we do get a quarterback in the future, that will only solidify the idea that they're playing long-term rather than right now. And I guess I'll be okay with that. That's facts, man. Hey, I only speak the truth, man. Sean Johnson, last year we didn't sign Chandler Jones and Rock Ya-Sin on day 2 and Devontae Adams day 3, so maybe some splash move we shall see. Man, did you try to rhyme that on purpose? Because I was like, what? Yo, I mean, but you're absolutely right, bro. Like it's we kind of went through this roller coaster last year, meltdown, and then we brought in Devontae Adams, and then I think we kind of rode the roller coaster too high because we were like, hey, I don't know about you. I was like, yeah, the Raiders are going to the Super Bowl, man. The Chiefs are going to be in last place. They lost Tyreek Hill, man. Who's going to throw to now? Months later, we don't make the playoffs. We go 6-11, and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So there's got to be a different solution, right? That's kind of what we're looking at. Doing the same thing over and over is insanity. That's the definition of insanity, right? That's what they say. So maybe we just got to have a different approach with this thing, and maybe that's how they see this whole situation, trying to build for the future and trying to do it in the safest yet most boring, most conservative way possible, right? Maybe that's just what it is. Excuse me. Top Beats, it says, I agree with so many holes on the team. We couldn't afford to give away all of our draft capital to go to number 1 spot. Does emphasize that he wants to win. Yeah, that will be a complete rebuild if we did that right now. Set us back a few years. In this kind of situation, we can maybe win this year. It's a possibility we can still win this year. And if not, then we get a quarterback in the future that's sitting on the bench, and then kind of move forward with that because the cap space is going to be ridiculous next year as well. So that's kind of where I'm at, man. Says Top Beats. He says, I've never felt like Mark Davis is not interested. I've never felt like Mark Davis is not interested in winning. The real problem is that the people he has hired have mismanaged the team to a different point where he's forced to stick with McDaniels. Yeah, I think Mark Davis is definitely in those situations. I think that he's looking at this and is like, maybe I made a mistake. There's no way that you look at what's going on in this front office with Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler doing the most conservative, the most unwowing acquisitions, and Mark Davis, from his perspective, him trying to build a winning culture in Vegas, trying to build a fan base. Now, let's kind of talk about Las Vegas in general, right? The first sports team that ever went to Las Vegas was the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And what did the Las Vegas Golden Knights do the first year they were there? They went to the Stanley Cup. That's why that support for that hockey team is so high, because they came in there and they brought a winning culture. Las Vegas, I don't know what kind of people live in Las Vegas, but if it's a new team and they come in and they stink up the joint, how do you support that? And from Mark Davis's perspective, you're almost in desperation mode at this point that, hey, I got to bring in some dudes, a rock star, so I can put butts in the seats that's wearing silver and black. Not the other team, because that's the problem right now. Now, on the flip side, like I said, maybe he doesn't care about that. I don't know. Maybe it's just, a cash grab for him now at this point. And if that's the case, that's a damn shame. Jimmy G, I know, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm conflicted, bro. I'm conflicted. Initially, I was having a meltdown, but I cooled off a little bit. I cooled off. Mr. H, he says, that is my dream draft so we can get Drake May. That means we would be stinking it up this year, maybe a top 3 to 5 pick at that point. So, yeah, that's where it will be. That'll definitely where we'll be if we get Drake May. So, buckle up and get used to losing if that's the case, right? Copy RNFL. Shout out to you, Raiders C-Dub, man. I'm not sure what that means. If you can clear that up for me, thank you for support, man. Thank you for coming in, man. Hey, and thank you for everybody who's came in, man. I got 17 in the chat. Make sure you guys like the thumb, hit the sub, and spread the word. It's Big Mike Raider. Hey, I just jumped in here real quick. It's kind of a last-minute deal. Just wanted to kind of, like I said, kind of get my rocks off, kind of get my thought process straight with the help of you guys, man. I appreciate you guys, and I value you guys' opinion on this whole situation. That's the great thing about this thing is we want to win. We all want to win in this situation. We all want the Raiders to win, but we all have different visions on how to win. So this is why I'm here. I want you guys to let me know because I was not hot on this Jimmy G deal. I was not. I'm still kind of like I'm cooled off a little bit. I can understand the deal. I can understand what was going on. I understand it, but I don't like it. So you guys let me know. This is why I'm here, man. I value you guys' opinion. I want to know how you guys feel about it, man. I'm kind of just feeling out the room, feeling out the temperature of the room. That's kind of where I'm at right now with it, man. John Leon, he says, Stidham is going to give our offense away to the Broncos. I mean, that's a possibility. Hey, you got to stop us. You got to stop us. You can know play all you want, but you still got to stop us. And the Broncos haven't done that in years. So, there's that. Shout out to you, Tone Loke. Thanks for popping in, man. We got 19 in the chat, man. I appreciate all you guys for popping in, man. This is a last-minute deal. I don't have anything planned. I'm kind of talking about Jimmy G. Like I said, man, we're talking about Jimmy G. This is Jimmy G talk, man. You guys get out your frustration or how you feel about it. That's kind of why we're here, man. That's kind of why we're here. Top Beats. So he disagrees with Raider Jim. He says Stidham knew the system, which is difficult to learn. We have signed him before. Denver offered him $10 million, but Ziegler is cheap, and now we no longer have a backup. Yeah, and that's another thing. We don't have a backup. So that just tells me that we might be looking at the draft for that one. Sean Johnson, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson started following Denver. Better not go. Oh, my gosh, dude, please. Sean Johnson, please don't. Oh, man. Okay, we're going to keep it cool. Tomorrow's a new day. Things might be different. I'm going to keep it cool. Shout out to you, Sean Johnson. Shout out to you, bro. Top Beats. He said at some point, real talent will no longer want to join the Raiders because of mismanagement. Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely, AR with a great point, man. I mean, maybe these players don't want to deal with them. Maybe these players don't want to deal with them. That is a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. Top Beats, he agrees. The Raider Room. What's up, bro? Appreciate you. Hey, I'm gonna still get on your back, bro. You're gonna get on camera one day. I know that you're not comfortable with that, man. But you put on some great content on Instagram, and you do a lot of good things for Raider Nation, bro. We're gonna get you on camera, bro, and I'm gonna keep pushing you on that one. You need to come and do that, man. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you always supporting, man. Top Beats. It says, personally, I think the smart move is to wait until next season to draft a quarterback. The top talent will be gone by the 7th pick. Focus on defense and offensive line through the draft. Now, you can get a quarterback in the mid to later rounds and still get a quarterback next year because, like I said, Jimmy G, that whole Jimmy G situation, that project of Jimmy G is easy to get out. And so I guess I could just jump into the whole Jimmy G contract, right? Shout out to Raider Scout, my guy Raider Scout, Planet Raiders. He's going to be, dropping some stuff in due time, but he is Planet Raiders. Shout out to him. He tweeted Spot Track has adjusted their Jimmy G contract. 2023 is a $16.3 million cap hit, $33.7 million dead cap. And here's the thing. In 2024, it's a $28 million cap hit, 18.7 million dead, but it's only a $3.7 million cap hit, dead cap hit if it's post June 1st, meaning we can get rid of him post June 1st and only take a $3.7 million cap hit. We took I think it was a $5 million cap hit with getting rid of Derek Carr. So if this doesn't work this year, next year, we can just press the eject button and get rid of Jimmy G. And if that's the case, we have a mid-round quarterback that can, possibly as on the ceiling be a starter or be the backup, and then we can still draft a guy next year. And then we have 2 young first string and backups at quarterback. So that is still a possibility, Top Beats. It's still a possibility. Also, he says he'll still earn a salary of $11.2 million in 2023 and 2024 with a $22.5 million salary in 25. I don't think he's going to make it that far, guys. 24.2 million in yearly cash, 23, 24, and 25. So that's the kind of the breakdown for the contract. It's not so terrible. It's okay. That's kind of what cooled me down a little bit. I still don't like the move very much, but it was definitely something that I can kind of deal with a little bit, right? The Raider Room, he says, easy to do that in hockey when it's an expansion team. They basically get to snatch some of the better players from all the teams. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But the truth of the matter is that they had a winning team right off the jump. And that's what needs to happen with the Raiders if they want to build a winning franchise in Las Vegas. They need to start winning or people are not going to care anymore, especially with the ticket prices being so high. You're going to have the other teams' fans coming in there and taking over that stadium on a weekly basis. And it's going to be embarrassing. We saw the last 2 weeks of this past season, where 49ers fans took over that entire stadium and we lost. And then the following week, we play the Chiefs. They take over the entire stadium. They're doing ring around the rosies in the goal line and whooping our ass. Do you want that still? We need to demand something a lot better than that. We need to demand better than that because this is too far. They're going to lose fans. It's going to be more of a option. I'm going to just chill at home, barbecue, and chill and watch the game. I'm not going to spend $300 a pop for some nosebleeds if they're going to lose. Simple as that, right? Am I wrong for that? You guys tell me. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong about that, man. Mr. H, he says that's why we trade back. So when we go 8 to 9, we can trade up. Okay, man. I like the move. I'm okay with trading back. I like. We need more assets, man. We need more assets, and building through the draft is ideal, man. Especially because you save so much cap space. You can bring so many guys in and stack the team, man. AP12X, he says, I'm hoping to bring back Rock, sign Poyer, sign Drew Tranquil, and Levante David, and maybe Marcus Peters. Now, I have a theory on Marcus Peters. I like Marcus Peters coming to the Raiders, but I think that Marcus Peters is going to wait till the whole market thing is up, the dust settles and everything, and he's going to come. He might come along around training camp time, maybe even wait till after training camp. You know how you get that around like these 30-plus-year-olds like grizzled veterans who have some skin in the game, they have some clout in the game. They don't have to go through training camp to get a starting spot on this team, or at least land a spot on a team. So I can see at this point Marcus Peters being that type of guy, kind of waiting it out. But yeah, eventually maybe, he could be a Raider. This is all speculation, of course. I don't know if that's kind of what he's thinking, but that's speculation. I can see that happening. T Severe, shout out to you, bro. It says Jimmy G essentially signed a 2-year deal worth $17 million per. They won't panic and try to do too much right now. He allows us to be semi-patient in this process and wait on quarterback if need be. Quarterback will fall, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm really hoping for that. I'm believing that is the case. Yeah, you guys let me know. Shout out to you, my CeeLo, your new face here. Thanks for showing up and definitely showing support. I don't know why you're laughing, but shout out to you. Thanks for pulling in, man. Mr. H, I think Mark was sold on a long play and will give them a few years to bring in their guys and are not worried about this year. Yeah, and that was another thing that I was talking about with Wasted. I was like, man, I really don't like the fact that this team, this regime brings in only guys that they know. It's very annoying because they're only bringing in like former Patriots and former guys they used to work with and things like that. Like that is not, to me, that is not a recipe for success. I just don't think so. Coach, quit being lazy and bringing in the same guys that you're familiar with and coach. That's kind of how I feel about it, man. I don't know. Hey, man, sorry, I was just watching back on delay. Thanks for sharing that out before only moderators can share links in live chats. Hey, guys, go make sure you go check out his page. Go check out him on our IG and go check out his merch, man. I'm gonna have to make you a moderator. I'm gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that, man, just so you can share this. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that first. But yeah, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Top Beats says wrong. Jimmy is guaranteed $45 million if he gets hurt. Oh God, that is scary. That is scary. We won't talk about that. Top Beats, shout out to you, bro. They are being smart, letting the market come to them instead of overpaying. They're waiting for the market to drop. Yeah, that is a possibility too. This is all a game. This is, and the thing is, somebody has to make a move first, right? That's kind of where we're at. Like somebody has to make a move first, and the Raiders aren't the one. I know a few years ago they were very aggressive, where they set the market on multiple players, and it backfired. Trent Brown, Corey Littleton, other players too. Like it backfired on us, just jumping right out the gate and throwing the bank at everybody. So I'm gonna stay patient. I'm gonna do my best to stay patient. All right, Tone Loki said just did a mock draft. Traded down from 7 to 10 to get 10 and 30 from Philly. Then traded 10 for 3 and got Anthony Richardson. That is some wizardry, top level armchair G image right there. That is a solid move. We can make that happen. I'm all right with that, man. That sounds good, man. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you too, man. Hey, we getting you on camera, man. It's gonna happen. I hope it happens for you, bro. At least that's what Raider Scout said, and it makes a lot of sense. I trust Raider Scout. He is a very credible source, man. There you go. Like I said, like AR said, hit the likes to support your boy Big Mike, man. I'm here. We got 14 in the chat. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, hit the sub, share with your folks, man. Big Mike Raider, we here to stay. Here to stay, man. Here to stay. T Severe. What people fail to realize is that people know that everyone knows everyone else's system. The concepts are extremely similar, mainly just the terminology and certain nuances change. Yeah, I mean, this is 32 teams. You play the same teams every year. There's no secrets. There's no secrets. Football's football. It's man on man. Can you shed a man off of a block? Can you knock a man on his ass? Can you go downfield, throw a shot to a receiver? Can the receiver go up over the other man? It's man versus man in this game, and it really doesn't matter if you know the plays or not. Can you outman the man in front of you? That's really what it's about. So, all that, yeah, the system, the plays now, like that's cool, whatever. You can know that all you want. T Severe, $22.5 million for a starting quarterback is nothing. Daniel Jones is getting 40. So when I look at that, I'm like, okay, I don't feel so bad anymore. Shout out to you, T Severe. Elmatic, my dude, what's going on? Hey, thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate you popping in. We're talking Jimmy G. I'm getting my frustrations. I don't know about everybody else. I'm getting my frustrations out. We're talking a little bit of free agency. We're talking a little bit of what's happening next with the Raiders. Are the Raiders at a crossroads? Does Mark Davis need to make a splash move? Is he in desperation mode? That's kind of what we're talking about. There's a little bit of stuff. If you haven't checked it out already, go press rewind and then check it out and come back in the live chat, man. John Leon. I don't understand how they gave Jimmy G an injury clause stating that if he gets hurt, $45 million is guaranteed when we were worried about paying Carr if he got hurt. And that's another thing, right? We ran Derek Carr. We're bringing up Derek Carr, guys. We kicked Derek Carr out of town. And when we kicked Derek Carr out of town, our idea was we're bringing in a top quarterback. That's what the idea was, right? That was the idea for me, you, everybody else, that we were bringing in a top quarterback. We had the whole rumors of Tom Brady coming to town. We had Aaron Rodgers coming to town for a quick second. We had Lamar Jackson coming to town. Okay, none of that happened, right? But we still had in the back of our mind that Aaron Rodgers was coming to town, right? That was kind of our thing, like maybe Aaron Rodgers is still coming to town. So when you make a move like bringing in Jimmy G, we look at how you treated Derek Carr and how you ran him out of town. And I think like, dude, was this really the plan? Was this the master plan that you came up with? We kicked Carr out of town to make basically a lateral move? Yeah, he's getting paid a little bit less, but hey, you know what? What does it matter if we're not winning? Does it really matter? You know, and that's kind of like where I'm at right now. That's like I do like the contract. I understand that we are trying to build for the future. I get it. But I saw you kick Carr out of town, who was faithful to this team. All for you to bring in a quarterback that does just the same thing as Derek Carr is. Yeah, it's splitting hairs who's better or not, right? You can say Jimmy G's better. You can say Carr's better, but it's splitting hairs. It's by that much difference, right? And that's the point. We kick Carr out of town, somebody who's been a 9-year Raider. He broke all the records, all that stuff. Now, I'm not saying that Derek Carr is great. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, really, this was the move? This was the grand plan the whole time? Like, I don't know, man. It's really frustrating sometimes when I really think about it, man. Yeah, and you know what? I really feel like Derek Carr got the shaft, guys. I hate to say it. He got the shaft, and, you know, he's not a Raider anymore. I get it. But, man, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough for me to really feel anything otherwise, man. I might be off with that. It is what it is. That's kind of how I feel about it. Spot on. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Top beats. Hell no. Maybe you're talking about my Derek Carr point I just made. Hey, it's fine, bro. It's all good. It's all good. We cannot continue to support a dysfunctional organization financially, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. I won't. I ain't going to the game this season. T Severe, we weren't keeping Carr at that point. We'd be paying for a guy that's not on the roster. Yeah, man, it's just like this is the plan we came up with, bro. Like, for real, that's the plan. Raiders C-Dub Trader Camp. I have no idea what you mean about that. And they're definitely not talking about me. Top beats. John Leon, I agree. It's completely insane, bro. Yeah, this whole regime is insane. Mr. H, agreed. I want to see fresh faces and new talent. Agreed, coach. That is what you're paid to do. Exactly, man. Coach, quit taking shortcuts and bringing in dudes that you're familiar with. Oh, yeah, I like this guy who was with the Patriots. He was really good, and he listened to me, and, like, that's trash. It's trash coaching. That's lazy coaching. It's lazy. It's lazy front office work. It's lazy. Bring in new guys, coach them up, get with the program. If you're not with the program, then hey, then you didn't do our due diligence. I don't know, but you gotta try harder. Quit taking shortcuts. AR says if you want to make someone moderator, you can click on their name in the live chat feed and add select make moderator. Let me see. Let me try that. Hold on. Hold on. All right, I'll figure it out later, bro. I'll figure it out, bro. I'll figure it out. Do you not have to do it directly from the if not, you have to do it directly from the YouTube live feed. Oh, okay. I don't like watching myself. That's kind of weird, bro. I'm kind of weird like that. I'll definitely get to it, bro. I'll definitely get to that for sure, man. You're definitely one of my dudes, man, for sure. Tone got it right. Okay. You taking guests before you end your live? Let me send you the link. Yeah, man. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's do that. Let me send you the link. I'm gonna send it to you on IG, bro. Let me see. Definitely gonna do that, you guys. We're gonna get AR on the show for a little bit. Invite. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, man. We're definitely gonna do that, man. You know what? Hold on, bro. Let me find you. Hey, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, hit the sub, spread the word. Big Mike Raider. We're here to stay, man. We're here to stay. We're making this thing grow. That's what we're doing around here. We got 19 in the chat. I appreciate you guys showing support, showing love. You guys have been the best, man. You guys have been, nothing but supportive and showing love from day one, and I appreciate it, man. You guys didn't have to. You guys can be anywhere in the damn world, but you're listening to my dumb ass talk about Raiders football, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. All right, AR, sent to you, bro. It's sent to you. I hope I see you soon, man. Top beats. Let's see what you got. T Severe, wrong again, bro. Adams and Waller both specifically stated that McDaniels' system is the most complicated system they have ever had to learn. It was like learning a new language. Hey, and that's the thing, man. That's the thing that bothers me as well, right? We had the same problem with John Gruden. It's the most complicated, most complex system in all the land. It's like learning Mandarin. Why do we keep getting these coaches that have this complicated offense? Why can't we get a coach that just coaches and like nobody says this about Andy Reid's offense? Like, why do we keep getting these dudes that got this Mandarin-esque offenses and expecting things to happen the next year? And then like why do we keep the same process going? Like, I don't get it. Like, maybe it's something I'm missing here, but why do we keep bringing these guys that's teaching Mandarin 101 in the coaching room? I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. AP12, isn't Kenneth Murray a free agent? If so, I would snag him. I think that he's still with the Chargers. There was word that they were going to cut him because of cap casualties, but they just freed up a boatload of money. So I don't think so. But we can keep our eye on that. That'll be a great addition, man. I don't want Carr. I just don't want to pay Jimmy G. That's fair. That's fair. I don't want Carr. I didn't want Carr at the end of the season either. But my point is, the grand plan was to bring in Jimmy G. We got rid of Carr to bring in Jimmy G. Like, that's what is that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So that was my point. Top beats, exactly. It's the terminology that's difficult. You just made my point. His play calls have the routes in them, so there's more verbiage and to remember and regurgitate. Yeah, like I said, man, maybe we shouldn't have an offense that's so damn complex. Maybe we should just play ball, right? I don't know. Top beats. He says, yeah, you guys are going back and forth, man. You guys enjoy that. I'm not going to get in the middle of that. I don't want to be the moderator. Oh, my boy Rich, what's up, bro? Hey, thanks for popping in, man. That's my boy. That's like my big bro. He's like my best friend, man. Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for pulling in. Bucks fan in the house. Everybody boo this man right here. Boo Richard. Boo him. I'm just playing, man. We love Richard, man. He's supporting, the Raiders. He's supporting the Raiders, even though he's a Bucks fan. Thanks for pulling in, bro. I really appreciate it, bro. I really do. King Joshua, he says, let's not overreact like we always do, Raider Nation. We can't have every free agent paying everybody. Yeah, you know what, bro? You're right. And it's so hard not to, though, right? It's because we are so thirsted for a win. We are so thirsted for a winning season, a winning culture. We want to go back to those old days where we were dominating, where we were looked at as the team to beat, the team that nobody wanted to see. And we're so hungry for that. We're hungry for it. That's what we want so bad. So this is why we ride the roller coaster and go so high and go so low when things are supposed to happen and they don't happen. So I get it. And it's so hard to not overreact sometimes. I overreacted today. I had like a mini meltdown, but you know what? I cooled off. I still don't like the move very much, but we're going to support Jimmy G, right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to support the man. Welcome to Raider Nation, Jimmy G. I really hope that you don't stink up the joint like I think you're going to do. Oh, man. Oh, you guys are going back and forth, man. You guys have fun with that. I'm not involved. There you go. There you go. Who else other than Jimmy G? That's it. Who else other than Jimmy G? That's it. Then if you don't get Jimmy G, we look desperate at the draft. Yeah, that's another thing. There isn't anybody. That is a good point too. Like, I don't know, man. You make a good point. It's like, if not Jimmy G, then who? I think we got the best available in free agency with quarterbacks, right? If most feasible, the most thing that makes sense without giving up anything. So. Yeah, you're right. I guess it was a solid move. I guess if you really look at it that way. Much love to you, bro. Same thing, man. It's much love, man. Raider Kojo 916. Salute Big Mike Raider so far. We did not snatch one big name yet. What the F? Yeah, man. It's frustrating, but hey, it's day one. We still got some guys. I'm kind of disappointed that Dalvin Tomlinson signed with the Cleveland Browns. However, we still got a few guys out there. We got Jordan Poyer. We still got Gardner Johnson. We still got Tranquil out there. We got a list of guys that's still out there, guys. We don't have to panic just yet, but we need to be making moves soon. I'll tell you that. We got to make up for the past 4 drafts we screwed up. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have anybody in that 2020 class on the team anymore. But that's also why we have so much cap space too, is that like we're not paying these 2020 guys. So that's another point too. What's good, Big Mike? Just tuning in. Shout out to you, Ruben. Hey, we like I said, we're just talking Jimmy G. We're just kind of, I don't have any plans coming into this. Just shooting the shit basically, and everybody trying to just kind of get their frustrations out on this whole thing, man. That's why we're here. We're just talking, man. If you want to go check out the show from the beginning, go ahead and check it out, man. Go ahead and check it out from the beginning. Looks like AR is coming on soon, but I don't see him. I don't see his face. You see King Joshua. I don't like the move either, but I do understand. That's kind of how I had to cool off and really get my head straight and really like kind of put my mind on that. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I really had to kind of get my mind right and accept what was going on. Hey guys, we got somebody special on board, right? We got somebody special. My boy AR. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Big Mike, it's a pleasure to finally get on your channel, man. You're doing big things, and I'm really proud of you, brother. So,
man, I appreciate it, man. Man, nothing, man. We're over here getting the frustrations out about Jimmy G, man. How do you feel about that, dude? Yeah.
Man, look, it's like I said before in the comment section, and salute to everybody in the chat.
Yes, sir.
This is either going to be the smartest move that Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler made, or it's going to be the dumbest. It's not going to be in between. It's going to be one or the other. I mean, it looks like it's the craziest idea. I mean, why make a lateral move, like you said before, or in a lot of people's opinions, a move that's probably worse than what we had before, maybe even worse instead. And some may argue, I don't know. But look, I guess it's just a case of let's wait and see. I mean, maybe it could be another Rich Gannon or Stabler situation where nobody really believed in them before they made the move to the Raiders. I mean, am I mistaken that happened with Stabler as well?
Dude, Stabler was a you know what, I'm not going to speak on that, but you are absolutely right, dude, about Rich Gannon. Is when we signed Rich Gannon in the 90s, he was coming from Kansas City and nobody was really big on that acquisition. Maybe history repeats itself with Jimmy G. We're looking at Jimmy G as a hero 20 years down the line, so
highly unlikely. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm hoping to speak it into existence, but we've seen this happen before. Yeah, I see King Joshua's comment. Plunkett was a Patriot and a Niner. Okay, well, there you go. So it's not like these things are outside the realm of possibility. But for those two guys that I've listed, we've had a whole host of other guys that we've tried this with, like Matt Flynn, for example. I mean, what was it? Matt Shaw we brought in recently. I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see.
And it's rough, man. And we gotta kind of ride it out and still support the whole move. And you know what? And I was conflicted. I mean, initially when I saw this happening, I'm like, what are we doing? And then I saw the contract, and I'm like, okay, this kind of makes sense. As opposed to going after Aaron Rodgers and giving up everything and probably having to give him $50 million.
What is the contract, if you don't mind me asking? I know it's, but now that it's people have caught wind of it now, it seems to be a little bit more team friendly than what was initially.
Yeah. So
am I mistaken?
Yeah. So Raider Scout, he dropped a tweet earlier today saying that Spot Track, pretty much the breakdown of his contract according to Spot Track is this year he's a $16.3 million cap hit, $33.7 million dead cap. 2024 he has a $28 million cap hit, but $18.7 million will be dead if we released him, but a $3.7 million dead cap hit post June 1st. So it's a 3-year deal, but essentially we can get rid of him after year 1 and kind of walk away with a small penalty of $3.7 million.
Well, best case scenario, if we can draft a guy and he balls out right from the get-go, kind of like how Derek Carr made the job his own, and he did have that job for 9 years after his rookie season, then maybe that would be the best case scenario. Second best scenario is what I said before, Jimmy G actually pans out. And King Joshua, I see a comment in the chat feed. I didn't say that. I don't think he's better than Stidham. Stidham's better than Jimmy G, but I was just making a point. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, this is all like, we're trying to compare, history and compare like, the things that's been going on in the past and all, all that stuff. And Stidham, Stidham is not better than Jimmy G, but what we can say is that Stidham is one of those quarterbacks that didn't know the system. And if we did bring him, even if we labeled him as a starter, it would be a lot cheaper than bringing in a Jimmy G. Now, I don't know how much cheaper. I don't know what the market would look like in that situation, but in theory, I would think that would be the case. But I don't know. I don't know. Like playing armchair GM it puts you in a dead end a lot of these times, right?
It's easy for us to make these decisions when we're only seeing it from the outside. I mean, we're not in the building. We're not making the negotiation. We're not actually there talking to the players and seeing what their actual mindset is. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's easy for us on the couch, right?
Yeah, it really is, man. Let me see. My boy Richie, he goes, Gruden elevated Gannon, but when Gannon was in Kansas City, he was better than he was a better quarterback versus Bono. I think it was Elvis Gerbach too. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. It says good old Schottenheimer during doing Schottenheimer things. Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely one of those guys that would get you to a certain point and couldn't, break the ceiling basically. So, yeah, man. So, day 2 tomorrow, man. What are you hoping for free agency? You hoping for some splashes? What do you think is going to happen?
Sorry, just Daniel Kim asked a question in the comment section. I was just going to address that real quickly. What direction do you guys think we go next? Trade and team drops? We'll change that up. I think we're going to. We'll actually lead to your question too. I don't know. We're going to try and make some moves today and tomorrow, but I mean, we saw this last year where they were playing the patience game. So I don't know. Ideally, I want a little bit more urgency, but again, it's just a case of like, you're just going to have to wait and see, hope for the best. But like, I've gone on record, like I am not Josh McDaniels' biggest fan. I haven't been since even before we signed him. When people were talking about how they wanted him, I didn't forget, like in my early days as a Raider fan, what I saw out of him from Denver, and I didn't like it one bit, and I wasn't sold on him coming over. But you know what? He's our guy. It looks like he's going to be our guy moving forward. So I'm going to have to ride with him whether I like it or I don't, and hope for the best. And hopefully him and Ziegler can start picking up their urgency a little bit and sign some names over that'll get us a little bit excited. And then come draft, that's when we really need to hit it out of the ballpark as well. This is going to be the most important draft class we've had in my time as a Raider fan. We got to get it right. We can't afford to miss.
I absolutely agree with you. Now, I do want to talk about the point that you made earlier in the chat when you said that are these players are they kind of turned off by coming to Vegas because of the regime? Do you think that that's the case?
Honestly, man, yeah, I think it will be the case with some of the players. I mean, you know, and it's from my recollection, it wasn't just one guy who said that on record. It's been a few people who said that on record, that McDaniels isn't really a player's coach and a likable guy behind the scenes. So, you know, for me, I mean, you got to look at it like as a free agent. Like, if I was playing professional sports and like there's a coach that, I mean, it's even like, you know, say for example in real life, like you're looking at getting yourself a new job and you hear through the grapevine, the boss or the manager, he's not the most liked guy. You know what I mean? Why would you go there when you've got another job offer here where, you know, your boss or your manager is a likable guy and they're going to relatively pay you the same. You know what I mean? So,
right. And you look at comparable situations, right? We talk about the Raiders going, they have the tax-free zone and players, it's an attraction for them. They don't get taxed all the money as opposed to going somewhere and getting their money like half taxed. You know, you got the teams like the Miami Dolphins, right, who have a likable coach with Mike McDaniel, and these guys are flocking over to Miami right now. As you see, like that defense is stacked. That should be a situation with the Raiders. That should be something that's happening with the Raiders right now. But for some reason, there's a disconnect. It seems like, and maybe that disconnect is the regime that they don't want to come over here and play in Las Vegas because of that. So it's something to watch, man. I really do think that's the case. Because I mean, why aren't we doing what the Dolphins are doing right now? I don't understand why we couldn't do what the Dolphins are doing.
And I see a comment again, King Josh is saying, Max Crosby said otherwise. Yeah, you know, there are guys who are going to stand up and say the otherwise that are on the current roster. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just for me, it's like it was always a red flag when former players are coming out, like more than what usually happens with, like, you know, former coaches, especially one who's he was only a head coach for 1.5 seasons before the Broncos told him, "Yep, you need to get up out of here." So I don't know. I hopefully I'm wrong. I don't want to be right about these things. I mean, there are positives to coming to Vegas. I mean, we do have, you know, we've got some star players on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, defense. I mean, we've got there's a lot of work to be done. But you know, the tax-free state that is what is it? Sorry, is it California or Las Vegas? Is it state?
It's Nevada. Yeah. Hey, give him a break, guys. From Australia. It's the state of Nevada. Nevada is a tax-free state.
Right.
State of Florida, where the Dolphins are from.
That's something that'll want, you know, free agents would like, you know, that's obviously going to be a green flag for them if they want to come across over to the Raiders. Right. And I mean, it's a beautiful stadium. You know, we're a very passionate, loyal fan base. And I heard you talking about how we need to fill the stadiums before. Yeah, I hope that changes very quickly. But the quickest way that's going to change is if we start being successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want more of these games like that Niners game and that Chiefs game at the end of the season. That was
embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It had me thinking of like how the Charger fans feel. Remember how many times when we have Raider games over there and we just, you know, pack it out and take it over. That's how it felt when I was watching those two games on the TV. Seeing all that red, it was enough to make me want to puke. Yeah,
I agree with you, man. And it's scary because, you know, if we don't win anytime soon, this could get worse. This can get worse because not only is our Raider fans, they're kind of pushing the Raider fans away from not winning, you know, not producing a winning ring like product. They're also making the tickets super expensive. You know what? I think he's frozen. You still there, bro? You still there? I think we lost AR, man. You're frozen, bro. If you can see, oh wait, I think I got him back. You there? Yeah, you were frozen for a good minute, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my internet's
man,
been bugging out this morning. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, not only are we not winning, and the tickets are expensive, so it's like there's multiple factors in this situation. It's like if you're not winning and the tickets are expensive, what's the incentive to go to a game at this point?
And the downside of it being a tourist attraction as opposed to Oakland was, unless you're a Raider fan, like with all due respect to Oakland, it's not the tourist attraction that Vegas is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
It is. Yeah, you're right.
But on the positive side of that, I remember when I went to, did you ever go to the Coliseum, Big Mike?
That's one of my biggest regrets as a Raider fan. I never made it to. I'm from LA and I grew up. The Raiders were in LA, so
that was probably
I never made it to Oakland
in my life. Is that being able to go to the Coliseum while the Raiders were still able to play in 2019, one of the best moments of my life. But going there, it was hostile territory. You know what I mean? And I just want that Vegas to even be about that, even just by a fraction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I don't know. It's hard to say that might be is that reachable still? Like I'm not sure, man. I don't know if it is or not. It's tough. It's tough when we really talk about it. Like, is that level of is that home field advantage? Is that still reachable in Vegas? I don't know. I don't know. One thing I do know is that they're going to lose a lot of fans if they don't win. So Mark Davis is he's got his work cut out for him for sure in this situation. We definitely need he definitely needs to make things happen for sure. Let me jump into these comments, man. I'm definitely falling behind with the comments. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit.
Sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to take.
No, when I get talking, man, we get a good conversation going, man. It's kind of hard to do a little bit of both. I'm not great with multitasking, not at all, dude. So King Joshua says Miami will be the LA Rams in 2 years. Screenshot it. They have dead cap like crazy. Everyone is getting like 20 million. Yeah. And that's the cost of winning a Super Bowl sometimes in this case, right? Like the Rams, we saw them, they broke the bank to try to win that one ring and they got the ring. And now they're, they're scrambling around trying to make, cap, trying to even out in the cap. So
but if you get a ring, it's worth it, right?
Yeah, it is. It might be worth it, man. Break the bank at least one time for us, right?
Yeah, right.
We are speculating injury now. Give the man a shot. Give them. I'm willing to give Jimmy G a shot, man.
We'll give him a chance. We're gonna roll with him.
Yeah, we're gonna roll with Jimmy G. He's a Raider. We're gonna roll with a Raider all the time. T Severe, he says the Raiders were voted by their own players as the third best organization to play for. It's not about the regime. Hey, if it's about everything around it and the players around them and whatever other factors that's into that questionnaire that they did or whatever. That I'm okay with that, but I know that the coaching is a big key to that, and they had low marks, and that's very disturbing to me. That's a big deal, man, and that could be a reason why the Raiders aren't getting these guys the way they should. Daniel Kim, he says they're going to be screwed if Tua gets hit again. Who's their backup quarterback? I think they just signed Mike White from the Jets for 2 years, $16 million.
Did they sign that guy?
They did.
Was he a free agent?
I guess he was a free. I didn't know, but I think they signed
him. I wish we'd have kind of, I don't know, stashed him. He's backup.
He's kind of,
I like
he's
that
a
dog.
gritty. He's a gritty gunslinger. I like that.
Gritty gunslinger, a Bruce Gradkowski kind of guy.
Right?
I was getting those vibes. I don't watch too much football outside of Raider football, but I like that guy.
Yeah, I like him too. And the Dolphins. I mean, that might be that spark that they need in case just in case Tua goes down and you bring him in and he might be that spark that sends him over the top.
Mariota would have been a good fit.
Say who?
Mariota would have been a good fit as that backup for Tua.
Yeah, that would have been a good one too. He definitely needs to stay on the bench though.
They ain't Raiders, so who cares?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Screw all that, right? King Joshua says, but nobody likes who the Raiders pick. People were talking crap about Jack Del Rio's staff. Now all of a sudden he's great in Washington.
I always liked Jack Del Rio. Just even with all that situation, I never wanted him to go. I thought we were too hasty to pull the trigger and fire him and bring in Gruden. I mean, hindsight's always 50-50, but I always liked Jack Del Rio.
Always. Oh yeah, same here. I really felt like they really got rid of him way too early. I mean, he was a year off of going to the playoffs, and that was a Super Bowl team. I don't care what anybody says. If Derek Carr doesn't go down, we're going to the Super Bowl that year. and
or at
you know
least
the
making
following
a lot of noise that year.
right,
in the
at least AFC Championship, something like that.
Something like
The following year they go 6-10, and then they just let him go. I'm like, dude, you didn't even give him a chance to redeem himself after this. And then 2018 they go complete rebuild with John Gruden. It's like I didn't understand it. I didn't
the
understand
Gruden
it at all.
purge. I mean, you know, it was. Remember, I mean, we've talked about in my lives, you know, that Washington game where our season took a nosedive in 2017, because up until that, like we were rolling, you know what I mean? We made some good moves in the off season. We started the season with 2 big victories, and then the whole Washington fiasco ended up
downhill,
turning our season into a farce and a fiasco where we nosedived and never recovered. But anyways,
absolutely, you're absolutely right. I remember that second game when we played the Jets, and then Marshawn Lynch was dancing.
Yeah.
We were whooping their ass.
We were rolling.
Yeah, it was like, you know, man, it was just crazy how it was like it took a complete 180 from that point. You know,
the very next week was the Washington game.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, let's see. You got Arnold Olarvita. So hopefully I didn't butcher that. It's only been 1 year. You can't stay with status quo. Can you really say that you'd be satisfied by another sub 500 season with Stidham? Don't think we would put up with that. And what then? I mean, we can say the same thing for Jimmy G. You know, the thing about Jimmy G, they cite a lot of his winning record and, you know, his resume. He took the 49ers to the the NFC Championship. They went to the Super Bowl. He had a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl. You cite his resume, but what they don't say is that he had a complete team around him. I hate the 49ers, but you can't deny that Jimmy G had a defense around him. He had pieces. He had pieces at every spot to pretty much hide his discrepancies. And my question is, are the Raiders doing their due diligence to do the same thing? Now, if the Raiders can do the same thing, I'm all for it. But the way this team is constructed today, I don't see that being the case. What do you think, bro?
What's that? Sorry, I was just reading the comments.
Oh yeah, I was saying, what do you think, bro? Do you think that do you think that Jimmy G can be successful with the team, the Raiders as constructed currently right now? Or do you think that he needs pieces around him to be successful?
I got to be honest, like I don't watch too much Raider football outside of Raider football. So, yeah. I mean, look, I guess like, I mean, the pieces are there. I mean, we've got Devontae Adams, we've got Darren Waller, we've got Hunter Renfrow. You know, we've got the best wide receiver in the game. We've got one of the best slot receivers. We've got if healthy, one of the best receiving tight ends in the game. We got Josh Jacobs, who just came off an all-pro, all-elite season. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we've got the weapons there. If we can just get it right on the offensive line and he can stay healthy, I mean, they're all the right pieces there. I mean, what more do you need for a quarterback to succeed? You know, I mean, you know, you could have made the case for Derek Carr like last year. I mean, you know, he should have been more successful. He wasn't. We got rid of him. Here we are. So, you know, I mean, on paper, it should be good enough for any professional quarterback to be able to bring the best out of them. I mean, I guess it comes down to execution, whether they have it in them, as well as if our offensive line can hold up their end of the bargain as well.
Yeah, and you know what's most important in this situation is that just tell you about how the 49ers are constructed. They have a great defense. They have like little pieces here and there. I mean, you can say that Deebo Samuel is a star on the 49ers. You can say that they have like star pieces in certain spots. I mean, they did add Christian McCaffrey, but McCaffrey didn't play with Jimmy G. So, but what you can say about the 49ers as constructed was that Jimmy G was successful because he had a defense to kind of be complementary to what he's doing, you know, his game. He's kind of pedestrian. He's not a vertical throw. He doesn't go down the field and throw bombs or anything like that. But his mistakes and his shortcomings is covered by an elite defense on the other side. So that's what the Raiders need to do. They need to build a defense in order to kind of highlight Jimmy G and kind of keep him safe and keep him not exposed, I guess, if that's the best word for it. So that's kind of how I feel about Jimmy G. We need to build a defense and have pieces. Now, offensively, we got it already going, like you said, but defensively, we need dogs on defense.
We got
to kind of
holes everywhere.
Exactly. And then free agency, we haven't made a move day one. I know it's a tampering period, but there's guys I was on my board personally that are they went elsewhere, so that's concerning for me. If we're going to cart out that same defense from last year, we're going to be in trouble. So Jimmy G is going to be in trouble. So that's kind of how I feel about it, man. Richie, he says, with Jimmy G signing, what part of the team is now the biggest priority to address via free agency or draft? Defense. Anybody on defense. Like we said, it's all defense. It's holes from every level, from D tackle, linebackers, safeties. Now we did sign a safety, but he's a depth piece. We brought back Brandon Faison, which is not wowing either, but we need to bring more. We need more defense. We need to make
every
positional
moves. Group on defense needs addressing. Every single one of them.
Yep, and we have the cap space to do it. So that's kind of where we're at. This is Giovanni B, man. Salute to you. Yeah, AR was in deep thought for a little bit, man. I think I interrupted his stream of consciousness for a little bit, but it's all good, man.
No, I was looking at some of the comments because I think your comment must be on delay because a lot of the comments are appearing for me.
Yeah, I started running my mouth and then I started looking away from the comments, man. I'm bad at that. I'm trying to get better.
It's your life. I'm not trying
to... No, you're good, man. But yeah, you're definitely right. It says let's see what McDaniels has to offer. He's got this guy under center. Now let's see what he's about. Yeah. I mean, that's the best we can do right now. We got to support. That's the only thing we can do. I think we're really going to see what McDaniels can do. He has a quarterback that really knows the system and an offseason that leads that offense to where it can be with our Ferraris. Yeah, and that's the best way to describe that as a Ferraris.
I'm not rooting for his downfall. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to succeed. If McDaniels is successful, that means we are winning, and that's what I want at the end of the day. I want him to, I don't want to be right that like I didn't like the signing even before preseason last year, and I'm still not sold him yet. But if he can prove me wrong and bring out the best in the Raiders and turn them into a successful franchise, then fantastic. Happy days.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, man. I agree. I'm scrolling down a little bit. If I'm not getting to you guys' comments, I apologize. Scrolling down to just kind of get down to the bottom of it. Arnold Olavita, he says, but you can't overpay just to satisfy the masses. If Stidham was announced as starter, they'll probably same criticism that's saying we aren't doing enough. You're absolutely right. And, you can't run a team based on what everybody's saying on the outside, but it's almost disappointing. Like I said, we rolled the roller coaster of the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady.
I think Tom Brady was their option A. I think they were all in on it until he announced the retirement, and that just threw a whole bunch of spanners in the works.
Yeah, I agree. I really think that really messed us up, man. I really do, man. Top beats, he goes, the lowest graded category was the coaching staff. Player respondents felt that Josh McDaniels is less likely to listen to his players, keeps them for longer hours, and are not correlated to winning. Yeah, that, and that's the same thing with work, right? I don't know, like when you're at work for too long, it doesn't mean that you're going to be more productive, and that's if he is doing those long practices, maybe that is an incentive. That's kind of a turn off to these players. Like, man, I'm not trying to be at 4 or 5 hour practices. Doesn't mean we're going to be any better. And that's a common misconception in a lot of fields of work, right? Whether it's football, whether it's any sport, any kind of job you do, right? Like being there longer doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be doing more. So,
no,
so that if that is the case, yeah, that's tough, man. And that's definitely something that needs to be changed. And hopefully he looks himself in the mirror and makes some adjustments. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Daniel Kim, he says, I think Zeke was seeing how the financial market was going to set itself for each level of the defense so that he would see real value for talent versus dollars. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is a assessment period right now. It is assessment, but sometimes you know what, like the first day, like I said, we in 2019, I don't know if you remember this, bro. We broke the bank the first day of free agency when we signed Trent Brown. We signed what's the guy's name? I just brought him up.
Tony Brown. That was the year we traded for Tony Brown.
No, Corey Littleton. Sorry, Corey Littleton.
Right. Yeah, Corey Littleton and Nick Kwiatkowski.
Yeah, Kwiatkowski. All those, like, we broke the bank like big time that year, and we set the
And
market
on
for
paper,
a
they
lot
would
of
look
guys.
like good moves too.
Yeah, and it backfired. It backfired on us because we signed too early. We broke the bank. We threw a bunch of money to Trent Brown, and he didn't work for his money. He blew up to like 400 pounds. You know the story.
Yeah.
So
We the story.
it's I think it's a lesson learned type of deal, even though it's not the same regime, but you never want to go out there just jumping right into something. You definitely want to go through an assessment period. So I was reading an article. I do want to bring one more thing. I'm going to get to the comments a little bit later. I did read an article from CBS Sports. They grade the Jimmy G acquisition. They graded a B plus.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Like I was surprised to see that.
I mean, it's from word on the street. The contract isn't too. I mean, it wasn't as heavy as what we initially thought. I mean, there is connections there. Look, I'm trying to look at it from a positive standpoint because I mean, I'm not all the way. I'm just as thrilled about it as what you are, but like, I guess they're looking at it more positively than what a lot of us Raider fans are. But look, if it works out, it works out. You know what I mean? Like, I hope for the best. I hope it's the right move. Yeah. But only time will tell, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. And B plus grade kind of shocked me, but I had to really look at it. Maybe I don't know. I think it's because we rode the roller coaster so high with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers that we look at Jimmy G and it's just not good enough. I don't know we do.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I see a lot of your comments where we see things a little differently. You're bringing a bit of objectivity, which I can respect. Yeah. But I'm just giving my opinion. It's just the way I see things from the outside because I'm not in the room, and you have faith and belief in the coaching stuff, evidently, and I respect that. It's not that like I don't want them to succeed. Like I said, they haven't really given me much to be faithful about so far, but I don't get it twisted. Like I am going to try and be patient. I am going to get, they do get time with me. They do get time, if they turn it around, fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we're going into we're going into blind faith in this situation. You know what I mean? Like they haven't done anything to prove that they should earn our faith. To be honest with you, right? I don't know about you. Like we're going into this thing blindly.
Haven't done nothing for me to instill faith in me yet, but that doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to give them time. Doesn't mean to say that I don't want them to be successful and prove me wrong. So to say, yeah, absolutely, I want us to succeed. I want McDaniels to be successful and bring out the best in the Raiders and our future to be bright and all that, But we're just gonna have to wait and see again, Anytime.
Yeah. Absolutely. I do gotta address this, right? Daniel Kim, he makes a good point. Drop the egos, gents. You want our team to be good and succeed. We're on the same team, shield above all. And that's what we really need to stop doing, guys. We are on the same team. We all have different opinions on how to make this thing work. But at the end of the day, we all want it. We all want the same thing. We all want it to work. Guys, we have different opinions on this. And hey, we can talk it out civilly, So that's kind of how I feel about it, man. Let's stay respectful here, man. This is a respectful, we keep it respectful, we keep it classy here, man. That's what we do here, man.
For sure.
Definitely. For sure. Top Beats says overall. Baby. Say what? Say again.
Sorry, I was just saying we just want to win, baby, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Top Beats, he goes overall, Big Mike, Jimmy G realistically was the best bridge quarterback that we could hope for outside of Stidham. The key is who we bring on with the draft. Yeah, and absolutely that's going to happen. We're going to bring somebody in the draft. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a first round deal or something like that. I don't know. So I have no idea. So I'm not going to address that last comment right there, man. But guys, come on, let's get along, man. Come on.
Hey, we all bleed silver and black, right?
Man. Come on.
Difference of opinions, but it's like I said, we all want to just win, baby.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Come on, man. Let's get along here, man. However, having a $45 million guarantee injury clause is a cause for concern with Ziegler. Yeah, man, I don't like that. So there is a clause in his contract that he's owed $45 million guaranteed if he gets injured, man. I don't like that. I don't like that, considering he's coming off an injury that ended his season last season with the 49ers. So that's ugly. That's I don't like it, man. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So we are at 1 hour and 30 minutes. We got 25 in the chat. You guys make sure you like the thumb, hit the sub, spread the word. Big Mike Raider. Also, go check out my boy Graphk Raider. He's got some fire content. Raider World Order. Man, if you're a wrestling fan like I am, it's like a good mashup between old school 90s, New World Order, WWF, and Raiders. It's great stuff, man. You got the hoodies, you got the tank tops, suns out, guns out type of deal. You know what I mean? You got the t-shirts, man. Go check them out. Let us know where we can find you, bro.
If you bring first of all, you didn't have to do that, and I really appreciate you doing that for me.
We're gonna do that, bro. We're doing
very much appreciated. If you bring up my name on the screen, like if you take the comment down and you bring up my name, I've got my link below my name.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me see.
To say, drop my mic. There we go. So that's the link. There. Is my mic working? Sorry, I just dropped it. Mic check.
Shoot. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right. So RaidersWorldOrder.myspreadshop.com. That's RaidersWorldOrder.myspreadshop.com. You can see it down below. I got to figure out how to shorten that, but it is what it is for now. But if you want us to come to my channel is the top one, Graphk Raider. I do shows with my guys lives like Big Mike. He's got his gang, the Planet Raider crew. I got my gang, Auntie Six and Raider Joe. Shout out to them. Where we do live similar to this. We just give our takes on hip hop happenings with the Raiders and thoughts and perspectives on that. So,
man, and you know what? The last show you did was great. You guys did a free agency tier list of free agencies past, and kind of put everybody in a tier list of like how good it turned out for the Raiders and stuff. You put on a great show, man. You and Auntie Six are fire, man. You guys. When I was just starting this thing, you guys invited me to the show, and we were talking. We had a good time, man, and that was awesome, man. And I'm forever.
You even put a Illuminar in the bathroom. I guess he never came out because he's not a Raider anymore, right?
There you go. Stay in the bathroom, Illuminar. We don't need you, bro.
Stay there and don't come back.
There you go, man. There you go. But you know what, man? I'm gonna call it a night, man. It is 10:18 p.m. It is past my bedtime, man. So you know what? I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Make sure you guys check out some good merch from Graphk Raider, and make sure you guys go check out Planet Raiders. I got plenty of good written content from myself, Wasted Talent, Cane Town Raider, my big body buddy, that we do our weekly now, swaggering boisterously podcast weekly. Weekly, we're going to be doing that. So, keep it down the line, put it on your calendar, mark it down. We're here to stay. And with that, guys, we're going to call it a night. You guys have a good night, and let's hope for better days tomorrow for sure, man. Peace out.
Fuck it, I entertain and play along. They claim they the best in the game when I'm the system that they play it on. They copy me, but my pattern is far beyond strange. I sit back and watch my clones